Okay, welcome back, and we got Comrade Funmi Sessi. She's with us remotely. Actually, she was supposed to be with us. This is not radio, but rather not have her at all. We thank you, Comrade Funmi Sessi, that you're pulling out all the stops to still be on the program. Comrade Funmi Sessi is chair of the Lagos State chapter of NLC. And in studio, we have Nelson Ekujimi, human rights activist. So I was coming to you, Comrade. You know, there's this whole, maybe you heard everything that Mazi Okorafor was saying, and all sorts of devices. Workers are so desperate that I don't think he's the person alleging it. It's a well-known fact. People get up to tricks, and so he's admonishing people, say, look, can you please go away and stop debarring your grandchildren from entering into the service? Well, what I want to bring out of this is the kind of wages that workers are paid. You wonder how they are able to manage from one payday to the next. And maybe you want to connect this with, at that event yesterday, halt last-minute looting labor urged Buhari. Maybe it was just appealing to Buhari that please don't let it happen. People going, you know, that whole route about, well, we're leaving, so let's see as much as we can grab. First of all, what do you think of those kind of notions? Do you think they're real?
Number one, I heard some of the things that he said about the workers. I might not say that that notion is totally wrong, because I've had it, but I, on my own, integrity matters. I've had it where there are some allegations against few workers who have doctored and changed their age for some obvious reasons. You know, in this part of the world where we are, we place priority on things that are not so necessary. In America, they don't attach age to your ability, to what you can offer. Age is not a barrier to you getting a job that you so desire. But in Nigeria, if you want to get a job in places like bank or some other, even government employment, you should not get to a certain age. And in most of these instances, is it the problem with the person that has aged before getting work? You graduated from university in good time, in good age, and you start searching for a job. So in America, either you are old, and so far you still have the ability, even in the United Kingdom, you continue to offer your quality services. So if we can desist from doing that in Nigeria, probably.
Okay. Now, the other question I wanted to bring to you, it's all right for us to be talking about inefficiencies in government, but one recalls that there was a time when labor, you know, buses were released to labor.
Age of maybe 28 years of age that you can get a job in the bank. Some of them will now doctor their age and they will turn it back to 28 so that they can fit into that status. But I'm not saying this is what happens, but I've had it.
Okay.
It has never happened to me, and I can never do such.
Okay. Now, how about those labor buses? Remember?
You know, he said so many things about Buhari administration to some extent.
Comrade, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Comrade?
I can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to go to labor and accountability vis-a-vis the labor buses.
Okay.
Those buses, you don't see very many. You don't see them. You don't see them. What can you tell us what's going on? Because on the one hand, government might be accused of inefficiencies, but how about labor itself? What happened to the sort of transport situation?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All these labor buses, they were acquired.
I'm going to have to put that question to her again because we
For
lost
those
her.
buses that are
Okay.
owned by government.
Okay.
And these labor buses, they don't give them preference on those preferred road for government buses. They ply that road with all other vehicles on the way, and then making it very difficult. And you know, our Nigerians, they want to get to their places of work on time. So, like BRT and some other roads, special road, they are moving without any hindrances. But our own city, Lagos city buses, there are hindrances. And when there is a traffic, the buses are stuck in traffic. But people want to get to their destination on time. Then secondly is wear and tear. The wear and tear of all this long journey stress, the engine working long hours, and all those ones are there. Then another issue that we also have to look at is when all these buses are being used, the maintenance, those original parts, are they available in the country? Many things has gone wrong in this nation, and I believe and I want to appeal to the incoming administration to look into all areas of the sector so that Nigeria can have a better deal.
Okay.
The parts, most of the time when there is any fault, they have to now order from the source, that's from China, and they wait as much as 6 months sometimes before this part is being shipped down to Nigeria. And sometimes they have to wait to get this currency, the foreign currency. And if you go to central bank, how will you get the currency? You'll be asked to go to black market. There are so much of impediment. It's not talking about accountability on that part, but we are talking about those situations that causes impediments in the operation.
Okay, okay, comrade. Let me come to Comrade Kujimi in our studio. Now, that explanation there, it occurred to me that it sounds remotely a bit like things that government itself would say when people like you and Labour, put allegations before government. Very much their own version of what Comrade Sessi has just said. That, look, you can't believe the number of impediments that are, quite frankly, preventing us from, achieving our goal.
Explanation does not resonate with me, I must confess to you. Because we have a lot of private transportation company that even as a young boy when I was growing up, and today I'm almost at the verge of becoming a grandfather, those private transportation companies are still in existence and they are thriving very well. And even new ones are coming on stream. You want to ask, if for example I've opened an office, does it not make sense for me to have, spares for my machine such that whenever there's breakdown, I can quickly, replace the parts? Must I have to wait until a vehicle? Or we are not talking about one vehicle. So we are talking about a fleet of vehicles.
So you're talking about running that particular operation efficiently.
Absolutely. Because we're talking about efficiency. If we are accusing the government, a lot of times I tell people, we are a people that, preach what we don't practice. We preach what we don't practice. We are talking about inefficiency.
Yes.
You go to some institutions, somebody is employed, not even government establishment. Somebody is employed to perform a task. He gets to the office, the next thing he does is to start playing with his or her phone. I've had situations where I've gone to banks to make, transactions, and you see, in fact, when I was coming here this morning, on approaching the gate man and his colleague were just laughing at each other, and I was pressing my own, and I was looking at them, and I was like, are you employed to laugh with one another or to do your job? You don't have to keep me waiting here even for a second. Immediately I press my own and you realize I'm there. You should come to me and ask me, please, where are you going to? Who do you want to see?
So you're going to something that is also a very important subject. How productive, give me your response, how productive is the Nigerian worker or actually? It's one thing to people and office. If we have 100 people in an office, just for the sake of talking, yeah, that looks good if every last one of them is actually earning his keep.
Yeah.
If, on the other hand, it is not exactly the case, people are just in there, and I don't know, maybe it happens all over the world. Can we do anything about that?
It doesn't happen all over the world, I disagree. Because a lot of us have experiences with, our relatives or our friends.
So if a person is going to be superfluous, then he's not taking on.
Absolutely.
You don't allow it to happen.
Yes. And, we've had situations where you call a friend who is working somewhere outside the shores of this land. And the next thing he tells you is that, please, I'm on duty now. Allow me to close. I'll talk to you when I get home.
No, it's an offense, quote unquote, in some workplaces. Maybe not here. You can't be answering personal calls when you're
paid. Yeah. And again, it brings to mind, I will recollect watching the Nigerian Economic Summit group of the presidential candidates pre the February 28th presidential elections. And one of the things that the incoming president spoke about, that resonated with some of us, is that he talked about moral regeneration. We have lost our values.
Well, let me, Comrade Sessi, I'm coming to you, but let me stop by and pick up Mr. George's call. Mr. George has called in from Ikeja. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Uncle Yari. Good morning to Mr. Kujeme and to the lady Comrd, the NLC chairman in Lagos. Uncle Yari, I have no issue with workers being appropriately paid. They need to have living wages. I agree with that totally. But what I'm saying, in continuation of what I said yesterday, where there is a taking, there must be a giving. The workers also have to partake in the integrity of output. What do I mean? What do they give to the system from which they expect so much? I'm happy that somebody like Joe Ajero is the new NLC president. From what I know of his antecedents, he's somebody that doesn't tolerate some bad things. The labor, let me give you one. And budget padding is one of the things of the failure of our budget. If a contract is to be executed with 2 billion, they will pad it to make it 10 billion. 10 billion will leave the government coffers. Even the 2 billion that is meant to carry out the contract will still not be carried out appropriately. And see how much money we lose in oil theft. It's Pengassin and TUC telling us that they are not aware that workers in the high seas know how those oil is being stolen. They know what has been their position. They should go beyond what I'm saying, Uncle Yori. Labor should go beyond just asking for pay. They should also help the government of our country to succeed. A new government needs money to carry them out. If leakages are not blocked, you won't be able to get that money. And labor is the only one that can help to block leakages.
Okay, I want to thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, Mr. George, for calling in, because I want to take it quite hot as it is to Comrade Funmi Sessi. Comrade Sessi? Comrade Sessi?
Please, thank you. Let me... Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay.
I am here, Mr. Yori, for line.
Okay, if you heard...
Yes.
You heard that caller. And you heard that caller, yes. And his thrust was that he doesn't...
He talked about fighting of... Hello?
Okay. Did you hear the thrust of that call, which is that the workers themselves, we the workers, how well do we consider that we are doing in assisting those by our own conduct, our own efficiency, our own, you know, just being as industrious as we can. The dire allegation in his submission was that the worker hasn't given up as much as he could to actually better our lot.
Okay. The first speaker, he still made allegations that he couldn't believe or he couldn't trust all what I said about the city transport.
That's Comrade Kujimi in studio.
Yes, please, let me start from there. Labour City Transport is not to make gain. It's not to make gain. It's not to make money. We're using it to assist and to transport workers to their places of work. So therefore, when government buses are taking people for 500, the Labour City Transport takes people for 100 naira. So get that right. We are not using it to make money. We are using it to help workers. So for that reason, there are so many reasons. It's also one of the factors that are making our vehicles to break down without us being able to revamp it and all those other things I said earlier. Okay, now let me go to the second speaker that talked about workers being also assisting and aiding and abetting corruption and corrupt tendencies and all sorts. Yes, I am not going to say it is not true, because out of the disciples of Jesus Christ, you see Judas Iscariot. So, as you have the bad ones, you will also have those ones who are self-centered, who are not contented, who if we want to, we should not recruit workers through the back door. Let us continue to recruit workers based on merit. Most of these people that are in the workforce, that are doing it, they were brought in by those who are using them for illicit things that he mentioned. If you see workers who are true and diligent to their work, and who are pledged on oath to ensure that the government work goes without all this corruption.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So and it really relates to public service workers. And you know, there's the thought, although I'm not too sure. There's a thought that there's a lot of padding going on, even in the way people come into government as a worker, because that's the national cake. So whether or not there is anything...
Good leadership. To see the peoples from the leaders, I am telling you, in the past,
I think Comrade Sessi is in a moving vehicle, therefore the sound is drifting in and out. It's making it a bit difficult because sometimes I think she has kept quiet, but she just drifted out, and she's actually speaking. So she didn't hear what I was saying. So, Comrade, I don't know, can you hear me now? No, okay. There still is that challenge. There's a sense in which we have to be thankful to Comrade Sessi because she was not going to be able to make it at all. She had been scheduled, so rather than not declare a no-show, she's done this second best.
That was very good of her.
Yes. But she explained that bit about don't try to accuse us in labor. We are not in there for business. So, but then I would say that. And now you went in there not for business, and now the whole thing has collapsed. And so where are we? Are we better off or worse off? Because we're certainly not in the same place.
Absolutely. Because if you have brought up a system to help the workers, and you don't have a system in place, to sustain it, the question we should ask, why do you come with that system at all? So for me,
exactly.
I'm not comfortable with with the explanation. But
Mr. Lukman in Ghana, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to your guest. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
My contribution is all about the Nigerian Labour Congress should try to help the incoming government. They should not be demanding at all times. Nigeria is not that poor. In Ghana, their minimum wage is 20,000 naira. When you convert their money to Nigeria, it's 20,000 naira. They buy fuel for 900 naira. The dollar exchange rate is 850 naira. The inflation in Ghana is 45% compared to Nigeria 21%. So Nigerians Labour Congress should not think that their situations are terrible. If they could help the incoming government, if they succeed, their salary as well will increase. Like what Mr. George said, the most corrupt people in Nigeria are civil servants. And they also should clean their side before they will be demanding for more money. We have in Canada that we saw where doctors are saying what they are paying them is too much. So if you want a better welfare, the NLC as well should take care of the system, help the government. They should not prevent the government from removing subsidy because there's nowhere we are going to get money to do all those things if we don't remove subsidy. So that's my view. I wish them happy Workers' Day.
Indeed. Thank you very much. Indeed. And I think even though it's a belated wish, they had a happy Workers' Day, but we're still greeting each other happy Workers' Day. Comrade Sessi, can you hear now?
Please, I can hear.
Okay. Did you want to react to that? Look, there's a sense in which we become used to NLC being an Oliver Twist on our behalf, but you just heard somebody from Ghana compare some basic stats and say that actually things are tougher in Ghana, yet it doesn't show the way it shows in Nigeria here. Maybe he's implying that workers over there are much more purposeful, perhaps.
Well, he couldn't have said that because in Nigeria too, the workers are tilling the ground, and they are also very, 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 very purposeful as well here. But what we are saying is that the government should, the incoming administration should reduce corruption, because if you don't reduce corruption, that is why we also have even some of our youth. Even though let us go to the workers now, let us talk about some of these youth now that are doing Yahoo or all sorts. It's because of the kind of way politicians and those that are in government, some of them in the high places, they flaunt wealth. In Ghana, I don't think such happens.
Okay.
But in Nigeria, those who flaunt wealth, those who corruptly enrich themselves, the wealth of this nation is in the pocket of few. It should be spread across board for everybody. The salary, the rep be on salary. Let everybody be on salary so that all of us will know that we are all putting all our effort to ensure that the government survive, and the project Nigeria is
but
for everyone.
The Minister of Labour just announced on a television program the other day that his salary is 900,000 odd. You know, a paltry, as he put it, his paltry salary, and you look at any other minister, that's what it is. It's a paltry 900,000 naira plus. But, you know, of course, I didn't expect you to respond to that. I just wanted to put things in perspective, Comrade Sessi. But let me end up with the comrade in studio.
Please, I want to inform that it is not appropriate for us to scapegoat people because we want to advance a position. Yahoo, utilization of a child. And like they always tell us when we're growing up, okay. My father never told me that, oh, one man has 20 cars over there. No! My father always tell me, remember the house from which you are coming from.
But this is not exactly labor, but it's also because it's a human being.
Yes, human being, no.
Somebody's
values,
child,
yes.
Somebody's
yes, you can't say because you see people stealing outside You say it's encouraging our young ones
Oh,
to
oh,
become Yahoo.
oh,
What sort
okay.
of training have you given your children?
Okay,
Because your children today will become adults tomorrow.
All right, then. We're going to have to leave it here. Comrade Sessi, last word to you. Very, very brief last word.
Okay. I can hear you, Mr. Yori Folani. Please go ahead.
I was thanking you. I was thanking you for, all your efforts in coming on the Workers' Day into the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, then. And also, thank you very much, Comrade Nelson Ekujimi.
Happy Workers' Day to Nigerians.
Indeed. Happy Workers' Day to Nigerians. And that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.